Well, I do know for a fact that cats eat people. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that
a
makes
fact.
sense. I mean,
That's happened.
People
a
eat
bunch of times.
people.
I know people who have found people where they got, where they're cops, where they found people that were partially eaten by their cats. That's 100% real.
That was a fun show. We did that show for the cops.
That was awesome.
That was so much fun.
That was awesome.
3 cops got thrown out. That's right. They came to party, folks. They came to have a good time.
They did come to party. That was a lot of fun. That was a good fucking time. Those people don't get appreciated enough.
And that's the truth.
They don't get appreciated enough, and if things go south, they're going to be the first people you call, and you've been disrespecting them for so long and not appreciating how hard it is what they do for so fucking long. And that doesn't excuse the bad ones. That's not.
No, it doesn't.
It's just you can't lump everybody in with that same group because most of them are great.
You got to have these guys.
You got to have
this team, man.
You have to have them.
And it ain't the greatest job in the goddamn world, and it sure is dangerous. And some of them thrive on that kind of environment, and that's great. I don't. And so I need, and it was so cool to be able to make them laugh that hard because, we had the death of that cop not too long ago. That's been a pretty dour place to work. That's what the guy was telling me. The chief of police was, they hadn't been laughing. They haven't been. That really got everybody down and kept them down.
Of course.
So that was cool. That was so much fun.
Yeah, it was fun. It was real fun to do. Yeah, it's.
We should have started a church that night. We could have started. We'd have a
Ron,
police
we got to
force.
plant these seeds carefully.
That's right.
And this is what we're doing today on the podcast.
That's right.
We're planting seeds. You can't just go out there and just dig a trench. Then the government starts getting involved quickly. You got to slowly plant seeds.
Based on a story of love.
Yeah.
And mutual respect.
It would be great if we could buy into a franchise like Chick-fil-A. Or something. You know what I mean?
Closed on
In-N-Out
Sunday.
burgers. Just buy into something. It's pre-existing.
Our challenge is going to be started from scratch.
Yeah, just the Church of Ron White, just from scratch, it's going to be under a lot of scrutiny.
No, dude, it's a Joe Rogan, Ron White church. I ain't doing this by myself, man.
But it's kind of funny. It really is kind of funny that if we did just both of us become Christian and then open up a Christian church, no problems at all.
I got like 3 million followers. I wonder how far they would actually follow if I started leading.
You don't even want 3 million. If you get 300,000 to move into a town that you've created in the middle of the desert.
Right.
I mean, that's that Portland movie, the Netflix series, Wild Wild Country. They literally bought into a town,
and it wasn't that bad. That's what I think it was you that said that. They always sound pretty good. You're like, I can do this, and then then it gets sordid. Nobody can handle that kind of power.
Yeah, that's
and that kind of focus of energy. And you're the guy. Without it corrupts. Well, it just corrupts.
They're literally bestowing the word of God and the meaning of life and the meaning of the universe in front of their loyal following.
Right. This guy's got 31 Rolls Royces, by the way. Yeah. And they're just happy when he gets another one.
He was funny, though. He was the funny dude.
He was. I would have listened for a while, You
ever hear that famous thing that he said about democracy? You remember? It's by people, but the people are retarded. So it is. So you get this fucking guru. You get this guru saying that everyone's retarded.
Right.
You got to see this. And this was the dude. This was the fucking dude.
Because democracy basically means government by the people, of the people.
And he works slower than I do.
Of the people.
He does, but it's good.
I'm listening.
People are retarded.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
No, he goes on even further. That's just a small version of it. He continues on. There's the government of the retarded, for the retarded.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he goes into this whole thing. And this is the guru that was running that town up there. That was the guy.
And he was the guy with 31 Rolls Royces, right?
Yeah, he was balling out of control.
Yeah,
he was balling out of control.
Going nuts.
He probably would have pulled it off if it wasn't for Sheila.
Yeah.
Sheila was so ruthless.
Right.
She was terrifying.
She was the one that got the guns out.
She's the one
right?
that poisoned the whole town.
Oh, I didn't know the town. Oh, the city.
Yeah.
Not them.
Yeah. No, they poisoned like a salad bar or something, didn't they? Didn't she do something like that?
Oh, yeah, they blew something up.
They did a bunch of shit. They brought in homeless people for votes. I mean, they went wild. They went wild in the end. They brought in homeless people in buses so that the homeless people would become part of their community and they'd have more votes. And then they took over the fucking town. And then they're like, adios, homeless fucks.
Yeah, get
and they
out of
kicked
here.
the homeless people out.
Government by the retarded, for the retarded, of the retarded.
I mean, that dude believes what he's saying.
Democracy cannot be
I believe what he's saying.
the highest possibility man can attain.
He just blinked for the first time. I was asked if he hasn't blinked.
Wow.
Yeah, he's probably the real deal. He's probably the real deal. But he
Right.
had Sheila behind him, and she just got crazy and started killing
And
folks.
too many Rolls Royces to keep it out of the news. You know, you get a couple of them, man.
They-
You got,
but-
you know, 31.
But if you're the real deal,
Correct.
if you really are a super guru and you want 30 Rolls Royces, I think you can do it in that space.
Yeah, in
the
that
Christian space, I don't think so.
They're doing it. They got,
I
you know,
know.
Gulfstream 650s. You know, you can buy 30 Rolls Royces
I'm just saying it's harder to connect with the message.
cheaper, right?
There's something about that dude, the
But
way
they
he's
make-
willing to talk. Like that guy Osho, his book is really brilliant. He there's an audio version of one of his books that I got into. It's interesting, man. His thoughts are very interesting.
93 cars.
He had 93 cars. It's only 93, Ron.
93.
He only had 93 cars. So he had a nice fleet
He
of cars.
loved his Rolls Royces. He did.
Yeah.
But right, you know, if he's the guy, you want him to have everything. You
The
know,
thing-
if you believe he's the guy, and
You can be, this is what I believe. I think you can be both. I think you can be this crazy 93 Rolls Royce having fucking lunatic who lives in a castle that's made out of diamonds in the sky.
Okay.
That you got money from your followers, and also to be tuned into the real thing. The real energy of the
I
universe.
don't think you can.
I think you can. I think you
I
can
think
dance
that power corrupts absolutely.
for most people. For most people. But if you're a
But
real
it-
super guru, like a hedonist super guru,
Right.
Because one of the things about a lot of those like crazy super guru type characters, like there's always some sexual aspect to it. It's